We just wrapped up the second week of the college baseball season. Two American squads posting 4-0 weeks, including one with some resume-building wins, and another finding unique ways to win two of its weekend contests. UCF is 7-0 on the year and up to number 15 in the Baseball America poll after a big weekend at South Alabama. The Knights followed their midweek victory over Bethune-Cookman by hanging some crooked numbers on the scoreboard Friday in a 9-5 victory over an Arkansas team ranked in some national polls. Three players, Eric Barber, Tommy Williams, and Kyle Marsh, all drove in multiple runs in the win. Saturday, UCF took on a Maryland team ranked 16th in the Baseball America poll. Marsh, the freshman who broke the game open with a big hit Friday, came on for the save to close out a 7-6 victory for the Knights. UCF closed out the weekend with a 7-5 win over South Alabama. Marsh drove in 3 more runs for the Knights in the Sunday win. We'll have more on him in a minute. Tulane has had a flair for the dramatic in the first 2 weeks of the season. In an opening weekend game at Pepperdine, the Green Wave scored 9 runs in the game's final 2 innings for the victory. Wednesday, Tulane scored 2 runs in the 9th to beat Southeastern Louisiana 5-4. The Green Wave got a little more creative in its weekend series against San Francisco. Friday, Tulane broke a scoreless deadlock in the 9th with a walk-off walk for a 1-0 win as Tyler Wilson drew the free pass. Saturday, it was 2-2 in the 11th when Tulane upped the level of its dramatic wins. The Green Wave loaded the bases, there was a fielder's choice, a batter was hit, and walked before Jake Rogers scampered home on a wild pitch for the 3-2 win. Sunday, they would pick up the 5-3 win for a sweep of the Dons. Third-ranked Houston took 2 of 3 from Alabama over the weekend. Right-hander Andrew Lantrip was outstanding for the Cougars, tossing 7 innings of 1-run ball in a 3-1 win Friday. Saturday was a little different for the Cougs, who stormed back with 6 runs in the 7th and 3 in the 8th for a 14-9 win over the Crimson Tide. Josh Vidales and Ian Rice each had 3 RBIs in the win. East Carolina's Luke Lowry homered in 3 consecutive at-bats over a 2-game stretch as the Pirates went 2-1 on the weekend, defeating UNC Greensboro and St. John's. USF right-hander Jimmy Herget brought a perfect game into the 6th inning and struck out 10 in the Bulls' Friday night win over Wagner. USF would down the Seahawks again Saturday. UConn took 2 of 3 from Siena down in Florida. In Monday's 14-1 win, Vinny Siena and Joe DeRoche-Duffin each drove in 5 runs. Memphis won its lone game of the weekend, defeating Central Arkansas for head coach Darren Schoenrock's 300th career win. Kyle Marsh's 8 RBI week with a save on top of it propelled the UCF freshman to the American Player of the Week honors. It's the 2nd consecutive time to open the year that a UCF player has won the award, joining teammate Dylan Moore. Andrew Lantrip of Houston is the American Pitcher of the Week for his outing against Alabama, limiting the Crimson Tide to 1 run over 7 innings as the number 3 Cougars continued their hot start to the year. The highlights of this week's schedule include UCF hosting an Ole Miss team that went to the College World Series a year ago, and UConn traveling to Kennesaw State, which made a super regional appearance in 2014. Houston will be home for a 4-game series against Columbia, while 3 other teams will host 3-game sets. Memphis takes on St. Louis, USF faces High Point, and Tulane hosts Creighton. Cincinnati and East Carolina will head to Cary, North Carolina, to each face a trio of teams this weekend. Make sure to follow American_BSB on Twitter for all the latest baseball action. That's all we have for you today on The Rise. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week.